Okay, continuing on with our Chapter 7 test review. We are to find the volume of a cone with a radius of 4 yards and a height of 6 yards, and use 3.14 as the approximation for pi. Find the volume of a cone with a radius of 4 yards and a height of 6 yards. Now, I'm struggling to think of a real-world application of when you would have a cone that had a radius of 4 yards. Usually we think of a cone as like an ice cream cone, but it could be that this is maybe a part on a rocket or some sort of a artistic figure at a university or something like that. All right, before we find the volume of the cone, we're going to do a comparison to the volume of a cylinder, because the volume of a cone is related to the volume of a cylinder. So if we had a cylinder that had this same radius of 4 yards, and the same height of 6 yards, to find the volume of that cylinder, we would take the area of the base times the height, and that's how you find the volumes of cylinders and prisms. You take the area of the base times the height. So in this case, our base is a circle with a radius of 4 yards. So the area of a circle is pi r squared. So we're going to do pi times our radius squared, that's the area of our base, times the height. Well, our height is 6, so times 6. And we're supposed to give the answer rounded to the nearest hundredth. So we'll put in 3.14 is the approximation for pi that they told us to use. All right, so I'm pulling out the calculator now. Taking 3.14 times 4 squared, which is 16, times 6. We have 301.44, and that would be cubic yards. And to do cubic yards, it's going to be yards to the third power, like so. So go ahead and okay, now that we have the volume of that cylinder, now we can look at the volume of the cone with the same base and height. So I'm going to draw in the cone with its apex here at the center of the circle. Here's our cone, and it's going to take, if you filled up this cone with water or rice or something and you dumped it in the cylinder, it would be exactly 3 of those cones fill up the cylinder. So to get the volume of the cone, all we have to do is take the volume of the cylinder times a third. And this is why we did the cylinder first. So we take a third times the volume of the cylinder to get the volume of the cone, as long as it has the same base and height. And so in this case, the area of the base is the same, the height is the same. So all we have to do is take our 301.44 and divide that by 3, and we get 100.48. Cubic yards. Now, one note on the units here is if you're looking at just a straight length, like right here, we have a height is 6 yards, it's just yards to the first. If you're looking at area, like we had to take the area of the base here, that circle, area is going to be units of square yards. When you're talking volume, it's 3-dimensional. So it's yards to the third power. So make sure you know the difference on those units.